last week's Sunday night fiasco.
Either that or Rage Room.
Yeah, either one. It's been very fun going to work and talking with the majority of people who have never played the game, did not know what was going to happen, and hearing how pissed they are. I think it's been fun to talk with my parents, who
Mine
don't
too.
know either. Yeah, so I think it'll be cool to talk a little bit about that once we actually get to that point. But my name is Zach. I'm one of your hosts. I'm on Ren's channel. This is Ren, technically the main host, but we're both the host of This Week in Geek, and we're talking about The Last of Us this week. It happened, but did it work? I guess we'll talk about that soon. But before we get further into that, I always like to ask, Ren, how are you doing today?
I am very good. Thank you very much. Enjoying a long weekend off after last week's long weekend off. I'm sure I'll get many questions about last week's weekend because I have a lot to say about that as well. And I'm not talking just about The Last of Us. But yeah, I'm happy, excited to be doing this show. How are you? How is this morning treating you?
I woke up 10 minutes ago to a baby crying, and now I'm here. So, you know. That's the type of day that we're into. But with the show, a typical Saturday. But I'm here talking with my friend. That's all that matters. So what we like to do with the show is first start off with our weekly ranking, where we're going to rank basically what we watched in the week. Then we're going to jump into the main topic, and then right after that, we're going to jump into your questions, which is on the community tab of Ren. Right now, we only have about 10. So let's get a couple more in there. Let's have some fun with that. But Ren, do you want to take us away on your weekly ranking, and then I'll go?
I can. Mine is quite short. I'm going to start at the very bottom with Netflix's Havoc. And
this wasn't your favorite film of the year?
What?
This wasn't your favorite film of the year, man? This
was not my favorite film of the year. This was certainly not even one of the good films this year, as far as I'm concerned. This film has had a lot of production issues. This film has been in the making before I was an immigrant. So that's how long ago Havoc has been in the works. And all the behind-the-scenes troubles that this film had, it shows on screen. It really isn't a good story at all. It's a convoluted mess of a story. The violence, the action... The violence is there. The violence is fantastic. I think the action in and of itself can feel a little bit too repetitive because there's no mix of the type of action that it delivers. I think it just needed a few more rewrites. It needed to not have the behind-the-scenes issues that it had. It also had troubles with COVID, obviously, but I just was not a fan of this one. I wanted more because I'm a fan of Tom Hardy. I love Timothy Olyphant. I don't think he's enough things in general. And Gareth Evans, I think he's a fantastic director. And I hope he goes back to his usual MO in his next film because this didn't feel like it. Next up, I'm going to have Bob Trevino Likes It. This is a dramedy, sort of. Have you seen this one, Zach?
I have no idea what this is.
So this stars Barbie Ferreira from Euphoria and John Leguizamo. Apparently, it's based on a real life story of two people that connected, and that's what the film is about. It's a film about human connection at our worst at times, where we find those happy accidents where you find not necessarily what you want, but what you need. And it's really, really touching. I thought it was moving. I thought it was sweet. It was really funny at points, like ridiculously funny. I don't think the ending quite lands for me, but other than that, I had a really enjoyable time with this. Next up, on top of that, I'm going to have the latest episode of Fire Force, which now that I've fully caught up with that anime, I have to wait weeks. I have to wait to watch one episode per week, and it's frustrating, especially after this week's cliffhanger. If you don't watch Fire Force, I'm not going to spoil it because you should watch Fire Force. If you have seen Fire Force, I'm very concerned about what happens in the next episode. And finally, number one, to the surprise of maybe one person that has never seen an episode of our show before, Zach, The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2, Joe Goes Golfing. And it was heartbreaking. I I was ready for it, and at the same time, when it happened, I realized, oh no, I was not ready for it, and the tears flowed. It's been a rough week, but we'll talk about it more. What's your weekly ranking looking like?
So I got a lot because there's some things that embargo finally went up on, so I can talk about. So coming into the bottom, another simple favor. I'm not a huge fan of the first one, so I wasn't really looking forward to the second one, and I think they're about on par. But I actually, weirdly enough, think the second one made me enjoy the first one more in hindsight because the first one is more simple. The second one is more extravagant and bigger, and I don't think that was really the direction that they should have gone. It's solid. I think if you like the first film, you'll probably find some enjoyment in this. I liked it for what it was, but I won't ever watch it again. After that, I have Havoc, which for some reason, every time I look at it, I want to say Havoc. I don't know why. Like, I want to pronounce it as like Tom Hardy or like how he would say it in a film. But I've been very excited for this. Obviously, you told me about the production issues and everything like that, so I've always been curious. It took me and my wife 2 nights to finish this movie. The first night, we were bored. We were very, very bored. And my wife was like, why does this look like a PlayStation 2 cutscene through all the car chases? The second night, we enjoyed it a little bit more. But I can't say it's something I would ever watch again. Like, this is just, it's generic with really violent and chaotic action, which is enjoyable for that. So I enjoyed it for that one-time watch.
It is stylized too. I didn't bring that up, but I will say it is stylized.
Yeah, it's very stylized, and it's badass. It's badass. It's awesome to see Tom Hardy go badass because I've always viewed Tom Hardy as a badass, but when you really look at his roles, he doesn't get a lot of action to do.
No,
like Mad Max, this.
Not this
Rises, but, no, but nothing like this. And this is stuff I want to see more from him. I think he could pull this off. Maybe, well, I don't know. No, he's like what in the Taekwondo and shit. I think on his Instagram. Yeah. So never mind. So I liked some of it. I just, if you ask me, like Gareth's films, like no, like I would go the Raid, Apostle, Raid 2, and then this, and like those three are way above her.
Yeah, 100%. But before you move on, it just seemed, you know what this reminds me of? Look, we don't know if they're going to make any more Havocs, but it felt like if they do make a Havoc sequel, this could be an Extraction to Extraction 2 type of situation. And I hope it.
Well, you know what's funny? I actually prefer Extraction 1 to Extraction 2, but I like the Extraction 2 action more.
Yeah.
But I would hope that we have a better story because Havoc's story was boring. It was so generic. Like it was one of the most generic stories I've ever seen in a film.
And it has
in a
no
long time.
It's the thing that annoyed me the most because the entire film, characters turn to Tom Hardy and it's like, haha, I know what you. We never fucking find out what he did. What did he do?
Well, like, he did the. Well, did they not know about? I'm just
no, because like, okay, spoilers for Havoc. When he kills Timothy Oliphant at the end. The last thing Timothy Oliphant says is something to the effect of like, oh, everyone knows what you did. And he's like, no, just you. And he kills him. So the last person to ever know whatever he did just died. And then the film just ends.
Yeah. So he's depressed for no reason. Exactly. Either way, after this, I have You Season 5, the final season. It's fine. It's fine. It's a show that should have just ended 2 seasons ago. Like honestly, it's gone on too long. Season 3 was the perfect season, and it should have ended there. This season really hinges if you liked season 4. If you really liked the ending of season 4 and you were down for where they were, the direction they were going, you'll probably really enjoy this a lot more than me. I liked the first half of season 4, did not like the back half, and basically everything that was in the back half was set up for season 5. And season 5, it's fine. I think for me, what's interesting is that I like how it ended. I actually really liked the ending of the series. I liked the choices, like certain themes and thematics, how it deals with social media and TikTok and crime podcasts and things like that. Like they did a really good job building that up. And even like those garbage people who are like all woke sucks and whatever on the internet, they did a really good job touching on that aspect. Problem is it's 10 episodes. 10 episodes of repetition that I've already seen before. This should have been 6 episodes. Would have been phenomenal if it was 6 episodes, but it dragged. It dragged through the first half, and I was so bored. It took honestly, it took a lot for me to get through this. Next up, I saw The Surfer. Really fun Nicolas Cage, unhinged chaoticness of Nicolas Cage basically going insane from his from dehydration. So I what was that?
Well, who hasn't been there?
Yeah. So he's awesome in this, and there's one line in the movie that I will be quoting all year long. I won't say it here because I don't want Ren to be spoiled, but
I've seen the movie.
You've seen the movie?
Yeah, I played at LSF last year.
Oh, cool. Eat the rat. That's my favorite line of the year so far. Eat the rat. So next up, I have I'll just do real quick. Extremely Goofy Movie and Friday. Watch those this week. Friday I watched on 420. Extremely Goofy Movie I watched with my son because he really liked the first Goofy movie. Now I got 2 more things. At my number 2, this episode of The Last of Us. Very well done. Incredible. Not my number 1 of the week though. And that's mostly because an embargo is lifted. Now I love this episode, but I'm not a 10 out of 10 on it. I'm at like a 9 out of 10, 9.5. And one of that is I thought the episode was too short. I understand maybe the direction they were trying to go with having this significant action happen and making us in Ellie's footsteps that we didn't get time with him. But I feel like there should have been buildup. I feel like there should have been a little bit more of a conversation between Dina and Joel, and even just like little things. Like I love the meandering of the game so much with just small little conversations and interactions. And that's the one thing I felt that was missing in this episode. But I also felt that in episode 1 sometimes. And I also felt that sometimes in the last season. It's the one thing I miss from the show. And I understand that game to show is different. I'm just such a fucking diehard that I do really miss some of that meandering. Now, on rewatch, when this entire show's done, I might change my mind, but, and be like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. But my number 1 of the week is Andor Season 2. The embargo is finally up. I can finally talk about it. It's a fucking masterpiece. It is literally everything that I've wanted this show to be. I'm one of the people who really liked the Andor Season 1, but I wasn't hailing it as like the best thing ever. This series is fucking my jam. This season is my jam. Did you finish it? Did you end up finishing the screeners?
No, I did not. Let me see. Let me see if I still have them. I don't think I do, but
I think the day of
it was the 23rd at 2 a.m. where they left. Yeah. But I'll check as you keep going.
But this series, like, I just felt that every arc got better and better after the last one. And by the time I got to the last 3 episodes, I was already super into it, curious to see how they would end it. And when it got to the ending, I was in love. Then something else happens just for like maybe 30 seconds.
I have
that last. You do? You got to finish it because the last 30 seconds.
May the 14th. So I have time, baby. I have time.
You got to finish it.
I watched 6 episodes. I have 6 more to watch. No, I watched 5. I didn't even finish the second arc. Damn.
Dude, the last 6 are incredible. The last 6 are fucking.
You know what I'm going to be doing. You know what I'm going to be doing on Monday.
Yeah. But the last 30 seconds of the entire show, just the way that it just like hit me like a fucking brick, and the way that it just encapsulate. Oh, I can't say that. Yes. The entire series, the entire Rebellion era, the entire original trilogy, the entire Rebels show, like it just like thematically hits so hard that I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. Like this series makes everything better in this era.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that at the fact that I'm surprised at the fact that there's not one more entry in your weekly ranking, because I would imagine finishing Andor, you go and watch Rogue One.
I had watched that when
enough.
I finished it, so I didn't watch it this week. But it did make me like Rogue One more. I was always like a 3.5 on Rogue One. After this series, it bumped it up to I think a 4 now. So But yeah, that's where I'm at, Ren.
Alrighty.
So with that said, guys, we got one weekly ranking in the chat.
We got Eric's short reviews.
And this is number 1, The Last of Us, season 2, episode 2, best episode of the series so far. Number 2, Sinners. Great movie. Number 3, Severance. Still have not watched it. Number 4, The Studio, episode 6. Oh, The Studio is so
this week's episode. It's so fucking.
Which one is this?
It's the one I was sharing on Twitter. Him in the fundraising gala with the doctors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one's fucking hilarious. Number 5, Superman Doomsday. Number 6, Andor season 2, episode 1 through 3. There we go. That's it. So
there we are.
Let's talk about it. Spoilers for The Last of Us if you didn't watch it.
Let me put the banner up. There we go.
Perfect. Spoilers for The Last of Us. If you didn't get to watch it, well, too late. So it happened. Ren, they fucking killed Joel already. And
this time I didn't have no remote to try and go back. This time there was no what the fuck? What? There's no way. There's no what?
Yeah.
What?
So, as you said previously in this podcast, for me it was the same way. I knew it was coming this episode. It had to have been this episode or the start of episode 3. There is no in between. It had to be right there because for people who say, I can't believe they did it early, it's the crux of the story.
Yes, that's what gets the story going.
Yeah, we can't wait.
I say that as someone who last week was saying this is a mid-season thing. It's not going to be next week or the week after. It's going to be a mid.
Yeah, completely
wrong.
And I will say, and this is the important part of the game. This is not the last that we saw of Joel. This is my prediction going forward. We're getting a flashback every episode. Start of the episode, flashback. Because I'm going to predict. Just have some fun with me. Next episode, it's going to be him teaching Ellie to play guitar. It's in the trailer. Yep. It's got to be there. Episode 4, him killing Eugene. Just seems like the logical thing. Episode 6, museum. It has to be a museum. I feel like before we get to the ending, the finale, it's got to be that. And then 7, I don't know what that one will be. I do not think it is the scene, though. I think that's
Can I bring one up?
Yeah, of course.
And look, my track record for guessing when things are happening this season is not the best, so take it with a massive pinch of salt.
Oh.
The Eugene death is in the finale.
Okay. Do you think that same episode is when he finds out, or when Ellie finds out?
Oh, no, good. I think Eugene's death is in 6, and the Ellie finds out is in the finale. Because I
will say...
Let me just say... So, for the people who have not played the games, they're experiencing this story for the first time. There's a reason why they started this season with the continuation of the scene that ends season 1. Of Ellie asking Joel, promise me everything you said is true. Yes. Okay. And they walk, and then you have credits, right? So that opening scene, and after the credits, like they're mad at each other, like no, it has to be the answer you give the audience at the end of the season, because the entire season is hinging on how it opens. Our first moment being back up with these characters is rewatching that scene, so they emphasize how that moment reframes the entire relationship, and now we have to find out why.
I'm gonna say one thing. I think Eugene's is actually maybe the last episode. The reason I say that is because they're wearing the same outfit as they are in the scene in the trailer when they yell at each other. Then yeah. I can see unless it's like they do flashbacks, 2 separate episodes, like
yeah, it could be.
But I don't know. But going back, I know we're huge Last of Us fans, so we might feel a little bit rambled and jumbled here, but I felt like I was prepared. I was sitting there watching it happen. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like it's it's happening. It sucks. I love Papa Pedro, and I'm just gonna survive this. And then Ellie busts into the room, and I said, oh fuck.
Yep.
She's gonna say, and she says, Joel, get up.
Get the fuck up.
And first off, fuck you, Craig Mason, because the fact that he even tried to get up, and he almost like he does a little bit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, like that.
When I went to see the first episode in the cinema, I'm like, oh, I wish they had played the first two. I now know why they didn't play the first two.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but like that just hits so hard, and then the fact that she wasn't knocked out and actually crawls over to him, that
don't need to cry.
Was better. That was better than the game. That was better than the game. For me, that was like, there are things in here that I thought were better than the game. I thought overall that entire thing was better. I get why Abby had to reveal why she does what she does. It's for TV audiences. You can't ask the TV audience to sit on that for too long, especially if. Okay. And then the only thing about the death that I wish it was darker. I wish it was in a basement or something like in the game. It felt a little too bright. But other than that, I was totally fine with Dina being there instead of Tommy. I think that makes more sense for why Dina needs to go on the journey. I think Tommy being in Jackson, which that whole shit was awesome. That action set piece was amazing. Game of Thrones, you fucked up. I could see everything. That was amazing. It was intense. It was awesome. But thematically, Tommy now has to struggle. Do I go to Seattle and avenge my brother, or do I stay behind and save everyone that's basically been there for me longer than Joel, and actually has been there for me, which we all know what he's gonna do. But I love now that he has a higher dynamic, because in the game, it's just Maria's pregnant, I think, right? Like that's really, and it's like, and then it
cuts to when again, spoilers for the game too. It cuts to when Dina has had her kid, and by then they also have their kid, Tommy and Maria.
So that's why I really like that overall dynamic. And then Jesse as well. I mean, Jesse was the one that got there, so that's another added influence. That is that Jesse he might just go off the bat instead of just showing up like in the game. So I really like that. This is a big criticism in the game. I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of the fans get pissed that Tommy and Joel introduced themselves to Abby's crew. Like they're like, they would have never done that. I think that's such a fucking stupid complaint. So that's not me. One of the things I really liked to get away from that is Dina's like, Joel like yelling for his name. Yeah. So she instantly knows that's Joel.
Yeah.
I really like that. And Caitlin Denver did a great job. The fact that she had to do this 3 days after her mother's funeral. Oh God. That's just, and I was listening to an interview with Craig, and he was like, are you sure you want to do it? Like, we can delay, we can move back. Like, we can shift around what we're filming. And she was like, no, let's do it.
Absolutely. You'd want to do it. If anything, obviously I'm not saying I wish all the best to Caitlin, my condolences for her mother. All I'm saying is that will only help you as far as giving a believable performance is concerned. So
exactly.
I said I would understand either way. I understand if you're as a human being, you're too vulnerable, you don't feel comfortable dealing with that, like pushing that into your performance. But at the same time, I also understand the other perspective, which is no, I can use this and give a better performance because of it. So nothing but respect and nothing but admiration for her for doing this under those very awful, awful circumstances.
Exactly. But Ren, I've talked a lot. You take it forth.
So before I start giving my thoughts, obviously I love these games. To me, they're the greatest achievement in video game storytelling, and it's not a close race with anything else at all. And I told you last week, Zach, I don't know if I would have issues with the fact that they start the show with Abby. We know her name. We know what she's there to do. We know the why. And not to say that it sucks. I'm not going to put a thumbnail with Abby's eyes boggling out and all that, because this is suddenly not terrible television, because they changed details here and there that we don't even know how they affect the rest of the story. Abby should not have told Joel who she is, why she's doing this, confronted him, and all that. Because even looking at the last episode, Abby would not give Joel that grace. The perspective of Abby would be he has no right to know why I'm doing this.
Just a quick question: was Dina awake for all that or no?
I believe she was, but I don't remember.
I hope she wasn't, at least for her little monologue, because I don't want her to know.
Exactly.
It's fine to say Seattle WLF, their names, whatever, but the other shit, no.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying, oh, this sucks. I'm just saying why I have a fundamental issue with this, why I don't think this specific change works in favor of the story, and that's why I'm going into details. It's not nitpicking, but we have to break down just so it doesn't appear that I'm complaining just that they changed it. And again, I don't think Abby will let Joel know because he doesn't deserve that grace. He doesn't deserve to know why I'm angry at him. He just deserves to die. That's Abby's POV in this whole thing. Also, why I think it's so effective, and this is why I already had issues last week with how the season opens with her and us knowing her name and us knowing what she wants to do. Why does this work in the game, Zach? Why is the Joel death so gut-wrenching in the game?
Because you have no idea. You have no idea.
You have no idea who this person is. If this person is not an important character, there's no way she's going to kill our protagonist. So there's tension there for a scene. Let's see what this is doing in the story. But there's no way she kills him. And then she kills him. That's the shock. That's the literal
rug she actually did it
under you. And this, the moment you introduced, and again, like no one is. General audiences are not watching this show and breaking it down in their heads and analyzing the storytelling on that level. I completely understand. That's why I'm saying this does not ruin the show or the story or the services it in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying because I inherently will have that experience that I play the game. I inherently will have that experience that I love this game. And like I've been saying all along, I cried my eyes out. I was begging for it not to happen, even though I knew it. And I love this story because this happens. But for a general audience, imagine the shock. How much bigger the shock would be if this random character, this little girl, especially because she doesn't have all the musculature now, she's a mirror image of Ellie, which looks perfect.
Even another mirror image. When Abby's dad died, 19.
Yeah.
When Ellie's father figure died, 19. That is so nice. Because in the game, they never say how old Abby is. You just assume and guess. And I love that they actually did throw in an age.
Yeah. And this will have the same effect where now we're going to see Ellie going through Abby's journey. And I think that's what they're going to emphasize, that's what they're doing when they split between the stories of Ellie and Abby. Because we don't get to see Abby's story up until this point. Again, that's why I liked how they put it. I think I prefer how they put it in the game. But again, depending on how the rest of the season goes, I will look back and go, no, we needed to know Abby's motivation and plan and all that. But imagine general audiences seeing this random character stick a broken golf bat in Pedro Pascal's neck. Imagine how much more shocking, because you and I and every one of us who has parents that never play the game, but we play the game, they're like, whoa, what do you mean? Does they actually kill Joel? Like, who is this character? What is she? Like, there's no mystery now. Now we know this character is important. Now we know we're going to follow this character. And I think it's not that this is bad. It's that this is just, the other version is better. That's all. And it's not this big of a difference. It's this. Like, the power is...
It just depends how the rest of the show goes. Genuinely. Because I don't know how to feel on it either.
Mm-hmm. It's the fact that we knew that she's already a fully fleshed out character when she does it. And in the game, she wasn't. That's why the shock happened. That's why we couldn't believe that That's why me and you and so many others were trying to pause and go back and restart from the last checkpoint in the game because we thought this was a joke. We were just waiting for the menu to say game over, restart. Because this fucking person will not kill Joel because he's the main character. This isn't the fully.
It's so awesome that you didn't know anything about the second game because like I was spoiled because the game had leaked out and
I know,
you were so out of that medium. And it's so cool that you got to play that game not knowing anything.
So
where like
I had heard at the time early on, like months before, I was still playing the original, but obviously by that time the second one was announced as well. Pre-orders were up. I had heard like when the fake leaks came out, that like Joel died, and at the time I was like, sure. And because everything else was fake in my mind, completely dismissed it. And then I went to look back and like the rest of the story was completely off. So I really took it out of my mind that Joel would die. So when he did die, I was blank-faced completely.
So to end this Last of Us conversation, I want to take it back to the title of the video that you made. It happened, but did it work? And now it works for us. And the emotion of Joel dying works for anyone who watches this show. Because now I want to take it to the general going audience perspective. The non-gamers who didn't know this was going to happen. And I want to talk about a couple people. So my parents. We'll start with our parents. So first off, I guess my mom did know that he dies. She spoiled it for my dad. He was kind of pissed. So what happened, I guess, was something about him, like, she probably remembered, because I told her, I think I told her the whole game, like, way long ago, thinking, no, they'll never make a show. Whatever. They're making a show. But I guess she walked in and she goes, where's Joel at? Is he dead? My dad's like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? And then like the next scene, he dies. So, but my dad's funny. He texted me. He goes, that was a stupid thing Joel did. Why did he kill the doctor? So that's his perspective. But to the actual people who are not thinking that, all my coworkers, 2 of us on my team have played the game.
Okay.
And we're trying to say, yeah, the rest of my team had not played the game. They had no idea this was happening. And all of them were like, fuck Abby, fuck her daddy, fuck the Fireflies, fuck everybody. I don't give a fuck. And it's so funny to hear them say that because me and the guy who have played the game are like, no. Yes, but you have to put it in the perspective. What if Abby and her dad were the main characters of this entire show? And then this random guy comes in and fucking kills him. You'd be pissed. You'd be fucking livid. You'd be so mad. You know what I mean? You'd be so pissed off. So I really love that dynamic, and it's going to be interesting to see how the general going audience comes back to this. Because I'll be honest with you, no matter what, this is an uphill battle for them. They have to prove that. And I'm very curious to see how they tell Abby's story. I'm very curious to see how they tell Abby's story because you got to make people care. So,
yeah.
Your thoughts, Ren?
I loved it. I still loved it. My parents were shocked. They had no idea.
Yeah.
They were like, how could this happen? And I'm like, Joel was not a good person. Like, let's face it, he was not a good person.
Yeah, he's a terrible person.
It's what pain does to people. Like what he did that's why the first game is so powerful. And that ending, to this day, the argument is, did Joel do the right thing or the wrong thing? And Craig Mazin talked about this. It goes beyond that. Because now you look at Abby. Did Abby do the right thing or the wrong thing? Because if Joel had killed my dad, I'd do the same to him.
Yeah.
And if a group of people called the Fireflies wanted to kill my surrogate daughter, I would do the same thing that Joel did.
Mm-hmm. And my wife said the same thing. She's like, as pissed off as I am at Abby, if someone killed our son, I would go and kill them. There would be like, you think Abby did something fucked up? She's like, I would be that times 12.
Yeah.
And I totally get it. Yeah.
And same. You see now, if I watched my dad get stabbed with a golf bat in the neck, I would do the same thing that Ellie is about to do. And remember that line from the first episode? Oh, Ellie, they should be frightened of you. And if you've never played the game, you will see how that is very little in the rest of the season. But yeah, my parents loved it. I haven't spoken to anyone else who doesn't play the games and watches the show, but I will keep on inquiring. I do have one person that I know that I convinced to start watching this show. She has not seen episode 2 yet since the last time we spoke about it. Because it was like, oh, you're gonna cry in this, so I want to know if that person cried. But that person doesn't know it, so I'm looking forward to that reaction, and I will bring the rest of the feedback that I find next week, and as we go through these episodes through this season. But before we move on, we have a super chat from our good friend Luis Feliciano. They say in the show that Abby's father was unarmed. The doctor threatened Joel with a fucking knife. Yes, he did, but if Zach is threatening me with a knife, but I have a fucking shotgun, Zach may as well be unarmed. So the doctor might as well have been unarmed on that. And I don't remember if it was exactly a shotgun gun, but it was a gun, a big, massive gun. So what's a knife gonna do at that distance, in that positioning? So I completely understand. And hey, for all we know, when they say that in the show, that might just have been what someone told Abby and them, which I would not like, because I don't want that to be like a thing of, oh, I killed this guy because I thought he had killed my dad who was unarmed, but my dad threatened him with a knife. Like, let's avoid that entirely, please. Not that I think they are going to do that, by the way. But no, yeah.
For me, it's like, dude, he's still, like, I mean, Joel still fucking murdered countless people.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. He killed literally all the Fireflies, basically. Like,
including the one that was in Jackson.
Yeah. So, for me, is there anything else you'd like to add, man? Or are you ready to get to the questions? I think
I am.
Let's see what they do.
Question. I don't need to cry anymore.
Okay.
That
was our therapy session.
All right.
So, I'll start out. I already got the questions up. You ready?
Yep.
Lady Aaron asked, did you manage to successfully pre-order the Switch 2? Or are you going to wait a while before you get the console? I will answer for Ren. He's not buying it until the Pokemon game. Because you don't care about the Legends this one because it's on the original Switch.
Yeah, so exactly.
Wait. For me, I did.
Your wife pre-ordered 2 of them.
My fucking wife, dude. So it's funny because I had the Surfer. Was it the Surfer? Yeah, it was the Surfer screener, and I was like, "Here's the page I'm gonna follow." This guy posts like a ton of links. Just if it goes up while I'm at the screener, just try. Like if you don't get it, it's fine. Like I'm gonna try and go to GameStop the following day before work and just try and get one in line. And I come home, she's like, I got one. And I was like, oh shit, okay. She goes, it wasn't the bundle, but I was like, I don't care. Like if you get the bundle, I want the bundle because it's cheaper for Mario Kart, but if you can't, it's whatever. I take a shower
and Mario Kart whenever
What's
I
up?
I do want to play that Mario Kart.
It looks cool.
Too.
So then I get in the shower and I get out. She goes, I got another one. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I have friends texting me saying they can't get another one. So she got one from like Walmart and then Target. And then, dude, she was trying to get a third one just to prove a point that like, because that people are struggling. She goes, I'm determined to get a third one. So I forced her to go to sleep and to cancel out of the line waiting because I was like, we don't need a third one. We don't even need 2. Genuinely, the only reason we have the 2 is just in case one got canceled. Like, because you know, sometimes you'll pre-order and then like immediately they'll cancel it. So we have the 2, and then like now we just I one of my friends didn't get it, and I was like, oh, do you want to pay us for it? And he's like, yeah. So he's gonna get one too. But then I went to GameStop the following day to like wait in line for just a little bit. And I was going to be late for work because GameStop, like I usually like love, but the pre-order line should have moved way faster. It should have been, some guy should have came out and told you if you're getting one or not. I counted, but then what I noticed is that people were having people cut in line. They're like, oh, my wife's here. No, fuck you. Fuck you and your wife. No, she didn't wait the whole fucking time. So I just ended up leaving. But yeah, I got the console pre-ordered. I got Donkey Kong Bonanza pre-ordered. I got Cyberpunk pre-ordered on the Switch. Yes, I'm buying it for a third fucking time. Absolutely. It's the only way. It's the only cartridge of the game that actually has the full game on it. So if the world ever went down, I could play the game only on the Switch 2 because you don't have to download. You just pop it in and that's it. But yeah, it's cool. I'm excited. I might take off like the day or two to play the shit out of it. So yeah. Next question, Red.
Next up, Lady Aaron, thoughts on the casting news that we have gotten for the Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping movie adaptation so far. So we have our two leads. We have Joseph Zada as Haymitch Abernathy. We have Whitney Peake, great name, by the way, as Lenore Dove Baird, who is a descendant of Lucy Gray Baird. We have McKenna Grace as May Seeley Donner. I believe that's how I pronounce it. I haven't started the book yet. And Jesse Plemons as Plutarch Heavensby. Now, like I said, I have the book. It's right here. It's very pretty. Hardcover, as it should be. The best way to read the book. But I have not started it. Obviously, McKenna Grace, Jesse Plemons, you cannot go wrong with incredible talent like them. No idea how much these characters are in the book/movie or not. I am not familiar at all with our two leads, so I can't say that they're good or bad. But judging from the two people that I know and judging from all the other films that I've seen so far in this franchise, they have always nailed castings. They have always nailed these adaptations. Like, I wasn't familiar with Tom Blythe before seeing.
He's awesome.
He's amazing. How have I not seen him since in anything? Like, where is this dude? Put him in movies, please. Put him as Star Fox in the MCU, because we don't need whoever the other guy who was playing him was. So yeah, I'm very happy so far with the people I know, and with the ones I don't, I'm trusting them that they pulled it off as well.
Yeah, I need to pick up the book because Haymitch has always been my favorite character in any of the Hunger Games franchise. So, I can't speak to most of them because Joseph's never really been in anything. This is they must have done a big casting search for them, but he looks like a young Woody Harrelson. So I mean, for me, it's like I can see, or a young Woody Harrelson as Haymitch. Jesse Plemons as Plutarch, though, that is such good casting. Such good casting.
I was so.
And then there's rumors that Kieran Culkin is going to play the younger version of Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
it's just not announced yet. So that's really cool too. Yeah, but it's also curious who's going to play Snow. You know what I mean? Like, what actor are they going to get to play Snow? The
rumor was Ralph Fiennes.
Oh yeah, that was the rumor.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so good. I saw someone complaining that why don't they just get the son of the original actor, and I'm like, I don't know if he'd want to do that.
If he's the best one for the role, sure, but why would you just give it to him? Because he's the son of the other actor.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes, man, though. Ralph Fiennes. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm excited.
All right,
let's bring it on, man. Oh, next question. Lady Aaron, thoughts on a new Thomas Crown Affair movie being released into 2027 with Michael B. Jordan directing and starring in it? But no one's talking about that Taylor Russell's also starring in it, too. Great actress.
Very great actress. Love her.
I gotta be honest. I don't care. I don't care. I've never seen the original. I've had no appeal to ever watch the original. Michael B. Jordan directing, that's cool. I really like Creed 3. Where's my Creed 4? Just saying. Interesting. I'm sure it'll be good. That's like about all I have to say. What about you?
Yeah, I don't have many thoughts at the moment because I've also never seen any of the other versions of this story. If it's a book, I've never read the book. But I like Creed 3. I like Michael B. Jordan as an actor. Taylor Russell is a very underrated actress. She should be in more things. So I'm going to be there. There's just no... I'm just indifferent right now. There's no enthusiasm because I don't know what this story entails and how excited I should be for it. All right.
Exactly.
Lady Aaron, thoughts on the show based on the holdovers being in the works?
Stupid.
Why? Like, are we going to get another professor? Because if this isn't Paul Giamatti hurling the most creative insults known to man to other people, why do you want this? Also, is it that every season is going to be the next Christmas? So every season is going to be the next year? Or are we just stripping away the Christmas element, which kind of makes the holdovers so special. Yeah, I think this will end up being like the Parasite TV show, Zach, where, oh, nice, they're making it. And then turns out eventually they're just not making it anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Lady Aaron, thoughts on Chloe Zhao's next film called Hamnet being released in December, and thoughts on what the film is about, who's starring in it. I don't really care what it's about, who's starring in it. It's Chloe Zhao directing it, so I'm going to be there first day. I think Paul Mescal's in it, which is cool. Yeah, there you go. But Chloe directing another film, wish it was Eternals too. But if she's going back to her more smaller roots, that's okay with me. You?
Yep, I'm the same. Super excited. Love her as a director. Big fan of Jessie Buckley. I'm becoming sort of a Paul. I like Paul Mescal. I can't say I'm a fan, but I like him. I like him enough. He's fine. So let's get the momentum going. I'm very interested. This is probably going to be an LFF entry, so festival season. Let's go, baby. Cannot wait. All right. Here we go. No, I lost it. There we go. Lady Aaron. So Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos recently said that Netflix is saving Hollywood. That's so funny. And releasing movies in theaters is an outmoded and outdated idea. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I think one of the stupidest things I ever heard, Zach, was that making money was an outdated model. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You're creating this sequence of disposable movies that nobody gives a fuck about. Everyone's talking about Havoc yesterday and today. By tomorrow, nobody's going to talk about your latest movie. No one's going to be talking about your latest show. It's
they don't even do TV right. They're not doing it week to week.
It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen anyone say. And I will let you know this, Zach. We should have seen it coming a long time ago. There's a term that Sean Chandler, I've seen him use. I don't know if he's coined it or not. I'm giving the credit to him. The Omniverse. And that's what Netflix has become. And that's what Netflix has always wanted to be. For everyone complaining that now Netflix is this has always been their mission statement. Because remember what Netflix said when they first started getting big? We want to create an experience that's just like walking the aisles of Blockbuster. This is what it's like to walk the aisles of a Blockbuster. Is so much of the same. And then they have the library, which gives us Marriage Story and The Irishman and Gangs in New York and Sicario and like films they have nothing to do with, but they have them there. It's like Blockbuster, and it's finally come to fruition. It's the thing they always wanted to do. It's the thing that got us excited about them, but now we're actually seeing what that really means. So Ted Sarandon, go shit yourself on the toilet. I don't know, man. Like, stop saying stupid shit.
There's something I want to say about the studio, but I can't because it's a spoiler for a future episode.
Okay.
But you will think it's kind of deals with this, and I think it's next week's episode. So it'd be it's funny that he makes the comment now about this, and then like I think next week's episode deals with something regarding this.
Because it's been the other way around. The studio has made fun of something, and then people have actually made that something in the next week, and it's like, are you missing the fucking point, Hollywood?
Yeah. So we'll see, but it's dumb. I mean, if you just look at the statistics. There's like maybe one streaming. When you look at the top 10 movies that are most streamed for a year, maybe one of them is an original movie on a streaming service. The other 9 are films that went to theaters, then went to streaming. I think last year, Glass Onion was 10, and the rest was like fucking Moana, Batman Part 2, or Batman. I wish it's
in 2023, Moana was the most streamed movie in the world in any streamer, bar none.
Yeah. So I don't know, Ted. I promise you'd make more money.
I promise you'd make money. There's a reason why you're in constant debt.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to be bought out in 10 years or less. Or less.
Probably less.
Lady Aaron, if you've ever seen the first trailer that we got for Wednesday season 2, what are your thoughts? Are you excited to see it? I didn't care for the first season, like at all. I don't even think I finished it. I was really bored and really disappointed by that season. And I'm a huge fan of the Addams Family from my childhood. So, season 2, I haven't even watched the trailer. I will watch the season 2. There's a couple intriguing things that I'm a little bit more intrigued about. Now knowing the concept that it takes place at like fucking Hogwarts, basically, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more inclined to like the show, but I don't know. My wife asked me yesterday. She goes, "Why didn't we ever watch season 1?" I was like, "Oh, I did. I watched it. You fell asleep through it. I watched it right in front of you. You didn't have any interest." And she goes, "We did?" And I was like, "Yeah, we fucking did." Like, I'm telling you, I just never got the appeal for that show. What about you?
I was the same. Look, I'm not going to pretend like I've always been a super Addams Family fan, but I've always enjoyed the Addams Family. First season is fine because it's exactly that. It's Wednesday in Hogwarts. It's like X-Men but morbid. It's X-Men but Tim Burton, which is not really appealing to me. And the thing that is appealing about the Addams Family is how they're the weird ones in a world full of regular people. This entire show just loses that completely. But I'm a big Jenna Ortega fan. Like I think this is genuinely one of the best. She is a star already, but when I say up and coming, you know what I mean. Like she is nowhere near her peak of celebrity status, of projects that she's gonna do. So she's got a long road to go. And I'll be here supporting her for all that. But I can't say I didn't have fun with the first season. I thought the finale was a bit deflating, but I'm curious enough to give this a watch, even if it's just something that I put on in the background. It's not like I'm super invested and begging for a season 2. So, Lady Erin, thoughts on the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel being directed by David Fincher? I don't know that we had a plot.
The plot came out. This week. So the film will be called The Continuing Adventures of what's the guy's name? What's the character's name?
Cliff Booth.
Cliff Booth. And the story picks up a couple of years later, or like probably 10 years later, a decade or so. And he's now a studio fixer. Basically, if an actor fucks up, someone messes up, they call Cliff Booth to go fix it. And this is stemmed from the idea that back in the day, a lot of stuntmen actually became studio fixers because of that. I love that idea. I love Brad Pitt. I love Ray Donovan's first few seasons because he's a studio fixer. It was awesome to see what he would do. And to see that Cliff Booth's going to do that, I think it'll be fun.
All right.
I think it'll be fun. What about you?
I have no idea about the plot, but I do really like that idea. When you tell me a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, I go, really? Then you tell me it's directed by David Fincher, and I go, okay. And then you go, it's on Netflix. Bit deflating, but there's enough there in that mix. There's something you can do with that. That collection of talent, that mix, and like on top of it all, just in the grander context of this, David Fincher is directing a sequel to a Tarantino movie. I want to see that. I want to see what that looks like. I want to see how that's done. So yeah, I am very excited. Again, I'm going to be bummed if it doesn't end up happening, but it's not like I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood needs.
It's happening. It's happening. They're filming this.
That's why I don't know. I'm just saying, if it were not to happen for any reason, like I'd be oh well. Now I'm somewhat excited for this.
Yeah. Lady Erin, thoughts on Alexander Desplat doing the score for Jurassic World Rebirth? Cool. Great.
Hopefully he doesn't leave the projects 2 weeks before it comes out.
Yeah.
Like he did Rogue One. Like he did Godzilla.
Maybe they get what's his face to come in and do it then. Who came in and did Rogue One?
Michael Giacchino.
Yes.
After Alexander Desplat left too, by the way.
Yeah. What's the next one, man?
All right, this is our penultimate question. So if anyone wants to leave any more questions, make sure to start firing them so I refresh it before the last one is read. Sorry. Lady Erin, Thoughts on the Academy placing a rule that the members can't vote for the Oscars unless they have seen all of the nominated films, and why did they wait until now to make this rule when it should have been made a long time ago? Well, as far as the question goes, I don't have an answer because I have the same question. As far as the first thoughts on this, about fucking time. It's like you are paid to watch movies, to vote on them. How dare you be such in a privileged position that you have the time and the money to just watch movies made by your peers, the thing you claim to celebrate so much and to love so much that you're part of this incredible industry, and then you don't watch them because it's too long? Brother, it's movies. You're watching them at home. Pause them whenever you want. Go take a shit. Go make dinner. Go walk your dog. You have plenty of time. You have plenty of chances. You can watch these movies at your own pace. I will argue that you preferably, optimally watch a movie as it is, no breaks. But obviously, when I'm at home, if I need to go to the toilet, I'm pausing the movie and going to the toilet. They can all do this. They get sent these movies to their home. It's not like they're invited to go to a screening like when we go to a press screening. So I don't understand what was so difficult about watching movies before. And now, if it means we have less votes from person X or Y, cool. Fuck them. You don't want to watch, don't watch, but you also don't vote. It's the only thing that's fair, really.
Well, here's my thing. I want to know how. How are you doing this? That's my one question. Because if I'm rich, I'm just going to go and I don't want to. Hey, assistant, go watch all these movies for me and then document and then tell me and I'll vote. I want to know, how are you verifying that these people are actually watching the movies?
Yeah, it'll probably be a system that needs a lot of polishing. At least it's a step forward. It's a step forward that should have taken a long time ago.
They should have a test after every movie, and they have to scan their face, and then it's like...
Or a password of some kind, or like something like that. You know?
Yeah. Question 1. Did A actor kill B actor in 40 minutes into the film? All right, Ren. I've refreshed, and we still only have one question. So it will be our final question. And this is from Eric Thorpe Reviews.
Good friend of the channel.
He was the first chat in the live chat today. He's the final question. So not sure if you guys have discussed this or not recently, but just wondered if Last of Us is going for 4 seasons. Does that mean the 4th season will still be based on the second game, or will go beyond the game? Since I think it's clear this season is clearly not stretching things out unnecessarily like some shows. Cough Andor. I don't know what you get by that. Here's my thoughts. You can stretch this for 4 seasons if you really want to, but you'll have to add stuff. And they've already started adding stuff. The first episode, there's a lot of additional stuff in there that they wanted to put into the game, which was just meandering around Jackson. That is a big piece of
the cordyceps communicating. That's not in the game.
The Jackson being attacked was not in the game. There are things that
the shrink
Neil Druckmann wanted to include.
Not in the game.
Yeah. Neil Druckmann wanted to include a bunch of stuff, and they weren't able to. There's a whole segment of the game that was cut. It was supposed to be a 5-hour length thing where Ellie ended up going to the Sephirites Island and learning about their culture. Is that something they do? Possibly. Absolutely they could. There's also supposed to be an extension of when she goes to California, right? California, I think.
Yeah.
That's not really done. I mean, it's there, but it could have been longer. So, yes, couldn't they go for 4 seasons? Absolutely. But should they? Probably not. 2 seasons at 1, and that's it. So, you, Ren?
So, we know... I don't know if they're going to go for 4 seasons. That's the thing. Let's not just take it on principle that they are. What we do know for a fact is that we have at least 3 seasons. What we do know for a fact is that Game 2 is being split into at least, and I say at least because back when the finale for Season 1 came out, that's how Craig Mazin put it. Since then, they wrote the scripts, they've mapped it out, they will know how long it takes. I'm expecting 3 seasons and that's it. I don't think necessarily you need to give us 4 to extend it even more than that. Not that I'm saying you would be stretching it out at that point, because I don't know. It's too early to tell. Even with all the new elements to the show that are not in the game, I don't really know that I see things being stretched out at the moment at all.
Let me put it this way. I think if we don't get 4 seasons, we will get a 4th after the 3rd game comes out. They'll come back years later and do it.
Isn't the 3rd game canceled?
No. He said there was nothing definitive, and then someone asked him to clarify, and he was like, well, at the moment, there's an idea, but we're focusing in on Intergalactic, which is what he should say. That's the game they're working on. So we won't see. Honestly, I think what we're going to end up seeing from Last of Us is Intergalactic comes out. What year is it right now? 2025? Probably 2026, 2027. And then I wouldn't be shocked if back-to-back we get another Naughty Dog game, either whatever else they were working on, because they're working on 3 games right now. And one of those is rumored to be Last of Us, and then you get another Last of Us game. And that'll be the final one. That would be my guess. That's their final game. So.
Yeah, I think it's just still too early to tell if we're going to need a 4th. I think by the time season 2 ends, me and Zach and everyone else really who's played the game, not saying us specifically, like we will have a better idea or vision of how things can unfold. But I don't see the 2nd game stretching out beyond season 3, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that might be asking the audience a lot too.
Yeah.
To do 3 seasons of Let's Avenge Joel, basically,
and not even to us, the people who play the game, because we're already invested one way or another. At the very least, we're invested in seeing how the adaptation is done. But for general audiences who've never played the game, that feels like a stretch to ask them to follow season after season after season of Let's Avenge Joel's death. Because also, don't forget, guys, we're not getting season 3 next year, unfortunately. I think we should. They should probably have done that, but we're not. They didn't do it. So we're going to wait at least until, best case scenario, 2027. If not, it's going to be the same time difference of these 2 shows, so probably 2028. So
exactly.
I hope not. I hope they.
But Ren, that is it.
Even if it's not stretching the story out, I hope we don't use Game 2 for Season 4.
Yeah, but Ren, take it off. I'll let you end the show since you're in charge of
that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our last question for today, and so we bid you adieu. We thank you so much for watching episode 111 of This Week in Geek. We'll be back next week with whatever big piece of news breaks this week. Well, I want to thank Zach for being here, my co-host. I want to thank you all for watching us. If you're watching us live right now, if you're listening to us on the replay, on Spotify, on YouTube, watching us on your commute, at the gym, however you joined us, we thank you so much for joining us. And final shout out to our good friend Luis Feliciano for supporting the channel and the show with a great super chat and a great question too. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend. And until the next time, love each other and love the movies.